Good morning. Today we gather not only to discuss, but to reaffirm our belief in redemption and justice that goes beyond punishment. We commend the state of New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy, for advancing plans to issue pardons and commutations, incorporating best practices and expedited consideration for eligible clemency applications. The governor established a clemency advisory board, a courageous step in a society still grappling with systemic racism and a justice system that too often condemns individuals to a lifetime of consequences even after they've paid their debt to society. The late Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it's a permanent attitude." Clemency embodies this principle, offering individuals a second chance, a chance not just to rebuild their own lives, but to contribute to their communities with dignity and purpose. As a faith leader, a mother, a justice advocate, I stand with a strong voice for our incarcerated and formerly incarcerated sisters, advocating for gender-responsive needs and the acknowledgement of their humanity. I witnessed firsthand the struggle of those who, despite serving their time, remain burdened by societal judgment and systemic inequities. Many are unable to meet basic requirements for housing, leaving them without a roof over their heads. Others struggle for a second chance, facing challenges in securing employment while lacking the means to afford food, access to health care or mental health services, or obtain essential medications. These barriers, created by the collateral consequences of a prison record, persist for years after the sentences are served. Can we find room in our hearts to recognize that forgiveness and restoration are essential steps towards healing and true justice? We must ask ourselves, are we a society that sees only the mistakes of someone's past, or do we recognize the potential for their future? Too often, those who have served their time are still viewed through a criminal lens, their humanity overshadowed by their record. This perspective denies the essence of what it means to be a just and compassionate society. As theologian Desmond Tutu said, "There is no future without forgiveness." Clemency is not about erasing accountability. It's about acknowledging that change is possible, that people can grow, and that justice must be tempered with mercy. Governor Murphy's courage to stand in the Hall of Justice, believing in the redemptive power of change, is a testament to leadership rooted in equity and humanity. This policy more than provides relief. It challenges the structures that perpetuate inequality and offers hope to those who are too often forgotten. As we celebrate today's occasion, we must also honor the trailblazers, past and present, who have shaped New Jersey into a leader in prison reform. We remember all who have gone before us, and we ask that we remember clemency is not just about the individual. It's about those who have led us, those who care, and those who we need to uphold and give that second chance to, just to be able to move forward in life. It's about whether we choose punishment as an endless cycle or embrace the opportunity for redemption, rebuilding, and restoration. Today, we take another step towards justice. Let us honor this moment by committing ourselves to see every person not just for who they are, but for who they can become. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Governor Phil Murphy is the 56th governor of New Jersey,
That's me.
serving since 2018. Known for his progressive leadership, he has championed initiatives in education, healthcare, economic development, and social justice. Under his administration, New Jersey has become a leader in addressing systemic inequalities, advancing criminal justice reforms, and providing clemency efforts to create a more fair and inclusive state. Governor Murphy's commitment to equity and innovation continues to shape New Jersey's future. I present to you one of the most courageous individuals that I've ever known.
I did not write this.
Than Governor Phil Murphy.
I love your
God bless you.
You know, there's a public speaking rule of thumb that's been in place for decades. Never follow Pastor Pam. Dr. Pamela Boykins-Jones, thank you for those extraordinary words. Not only your gracious introduction my way, but more importantly, the call to arms about what justice really means. So God bless you and everything you do every single day for this great state. And Pam is one of several members of the clergy here today. I see Pastor Dr. Ronald Slaughter, with whom I was with yesterday at MetLife Stadium. He was happy, the Giants weren't. I know Bishop Joshua Rodriguez was coming. Is he here with us? Where are you? On the way back. We gave you the cheap seats. I apologize, Bishop. Reverend Derek Green is with us, who's been by our side every step of the way. So, Pam, to you and your colleagues in clergy, we don't get to today without you. If government gets an A, even if we got an A+, it wouldn't be enough. And thank you to each and every one of you for not just today, but for everything you do. It is wonderful to be here today. And as we rededicate ourselves to ensuring that New Jersey is the state for second chances. This morning I'm announcing our administration's first round of pardons and commutations as part of the groundbreaking clemency initiative that we launched back in June. Dr. Slaughter, thank you for hosting us then at St. James AME in Newark, New Jersey. With this initiative, we have embarked on a fair, thoughtful, and impartial process for identifying New Jerseyans who have been trapped in our justice system and who will now, with the steps we're taking today, receive legal relief and have an opportunity to get their lives, as Pam said, back on track. I want to thank all of the leaders with us today and beyond who have played an instrumental role in making this first round of pardons and commutations possible. I say first round, I'll come back to that before I close. Starting with each and every member of the New Jersey Clemency Advisory Board, which we created to help guide this new clemency initiative when it launched, as I mentioned, over the summer. Jessica Henry, Jo Ellen Jones, Ed Nisi, the aforementioned Bishop Joshua Rodriguez, Michael Zuckerman. And I especially want to thank the chair of the board, my friend and former senior counsel colleague on criminal justice issues, Justin Dews, the only man in New Jersey taller than I. I also want to give our outstanding Commissioner of Department of Corrections, Victoria Kuhn, a shout out. Sam Plumerai, who's the chair of the New Jersey State Parole Board. New Jersey's public defender, Jen Saletti, is with us today. Jen, thank you for everything you do. Emma Olsina and Rebecca Uwakwe of the ACLU, New Jersey, thank you both. Erin Haney, Erin, you're back there, I see you. We were on a Zoom on Friday. To you and your colleagues at the Reform Alliance, and to so many others who helped get us to today. I want to also give a special shout out to all the current members of my team who have been working tirelessly to ensure this initiative is a success, including Deputy Chief of Staff Matt Burns, Special Senior Counsel for Clemency Lee Kelsey O'Donnell, Director of Criminal Justice Policy John Butler, and Policy Advisor Natasha Kemi. Two folks who are not with us today, I mentioned both folks with us today and beyond. One is Meek Mill, who helped us kick off in June, who Tammy, and I want to give the First Lady a shout out, Tammy and I were hanging with on literally Saturday night, and he was over the moon thrilled. He is one of the co-founders of the Reform Alliance, as Aaron knows better than anybody, and also Kim Kardashian, a criminal justice advocate. We were on, Aaron and Kim and I, on Friday for about 40 minutes, and I give her a lot of credit for also getting us to today. So over the past several months, many of the leaders in this room have been working together to transform the way that we provide legal relief to New Jerseyans involved with the justice system. And with this new approach, we have entrusted Justin and his fellow aforementioned members of the Clemency Advisory Board, again, which is comprised, if you don't know their backgrounds, it is comprised of a group of experts with experience across our entire criminal justice system. We have charged that group with the task of reviewing applications from New Jerseyans seeking pardons or commutations. And in the months since we launched this initiative, the board has considered many applications. And upon reviewing them, they have offered recommendations to my counsel's office on which ones should be approved. And I want to give Kate McDonald, who's our chief counsel, and her predecessor, Paramel Garg, a lot of credit for overseeing this process. So today, following an extensive period of deliberation, I am thrilled to announce that we have approved the applications of more than 30 people who we believe have earned legal relief, either in the form of a full pardon or by having their criminal sentence commuted. With this first round of approvals, I will be providing 33 pardons as well as 3 commutations. And rather than dwelling on the intricacies of this process today, I want to instead share a few of the stories of the individuals whose lives will soon be changed for the better, because they have more than earned their second chance. And I believe our state will be better off as a result of their being pardoned or having their sentence commuted. And I want to begin by acknowledging the more than 30 New Jerseyans who will be receiving a pardon today. Because the reality is every single one of these individuals has already proven that they are committed to getting their lives back on track. In fact, each one of them has been living outside of the justice system for at least 10 years. Some of them are veterans, others are active faith leaders or local business owners. And in recent years, all of these individuals have distinguished themselves as upstanding citizens who are dedicated to giving back to their communities. But despite these facts, these individuals have been forced to live under the dark cloud that comes with having a criminal record, and Pam was incredibly eloquent in addressing that point. So for them, receiving a pardon does not just represent redemption. It means it will be much easier for them to go about their daily lives. Everything from applying for a new job, to securing housing, to simply traveling out of the country to visit friends or family. And to quote the words of one of the people I will be pardoning today, Abdur Azim, who is with us and who currently works on reentry initiatives within the New Jersey Department of Corrections, meaning he ultimately works for me. What a frightening thought, Abdur. But I'm going to quote you that receiving a pardon would be, quote, like having a knife pulled out from my heart. Well, for Abdur, who will, by the way, with whom I spoke on Friday, and who will say a few words in a few minutes, and for 32 of his fellow recipients, let me say today you will receive the pardon that you have earned. And I'm honored to say that we will also be providing that same second chance to 3 individuals whose criminal sentences I will be commuting today. Altogether, these 3 individuals, who are all women, have already been incarcerated for a combined total of 66 years. Over the course of their lives, each one of these women has suffered immense hardship. All of them are survivors in one form or another. But when they were originally sentenced for the crimes they committed years ago, they received sentences that were too long based on what we know today. And as a result, these women have been forced to face excessive and, I believe, unjustifiable penalties. But even though our justice system fell short for these women, they have still demonstrated remarkable resolve and growth while serving their sentences. Over the years, each one of them has accepted responsibility for their actions. They have followed the rules while serving their time and offered a helping hand to their fellow residents along the way. And most importantly, they have proven time and again that they are ready to re-enter society and give back to their communities. I would like to briefly share each of their stories, starting with Myrna Diaz, who has been incarcerated for 18 years. While incarcerated, Myrna has turned her life around and dedicated herself to gaining an education. She earned an associate's degree from Raritan Valley Community College, and after that, she went on to graduate summa cum laude from Rutgers University. And outside of her studies, Myrna has devoted her time to practicing her faith, tutoring her fellow incarcerated people, and working dozens of jobs, including as a paralegal in the prison law library, a role in which she has earned high praise for her aptitude and compassion. While incarcerated, Myrna has also rebuilt her relationship with her two sons, and upon her release, she plans to live with one of them. So with today's commutation, her family will finally be reunited. Then there is the story of Denise Staples. While incarcerated, Denise has completed more than 70 institutional programs, including those related to processing trauma, dealing with addiction, and anger management. She recently earned her BA, also from Rutgers University, and in addition to being a leader in her church, Denise also enjoys crochet. And she has taught many of her fellow Edna Mahan residents how to crochet as well. I could use some time with Denise on that front. Now, with her sentence commuted, Denise will have a chance to share her thoughtfulness as well as her talents with the world. So just so you know, I signed Myrna's and Denise's commutations just before walking out here this morning. And finally, let me mention Dawn Jackson. While incarcerated, Dawn earned her GED, her associate's degree, and has completed coursework for her BA. She has also participated in more than 60 different prison programs, including serving as a member of the Commissioner's Focus Group at her correctional facility. Coincidentally, today also happens to be Dawn and her husband Ronald's 23rd wedding anniversary. And Dawn's children, L'Oreal and Stevie, are with us this morning, and we'll hear from L'Oreal in a few minutes. And I can think of no better way for them to commemorate their big day than by celebrating Dawn's freedom. So to Dawn, to Denise, to Myrna, and to the dozens of people being pardoned today, let me say congratulations. I mentioned that I spoke to Abdur on Friday. I also had Zooms with each of Denise, Myrna, and Dawn, and they were some of the most emotional moments, never mind of my time as governor, but of my life. I want to thank each and every one of you for proving that we are not defined by our darkest moments, but instead by our capacity to grow, to heal, and ultimately to be a source of light and hope for the world. I'm so honored to have this opportunity to support every one of you on your path to freedom and opportunity. And of course, I want to thank all of the members of the Clemency Advisory Board, as well as my team in the governor's office, and all the parties who stood by us and got us to today, for taking the time and care to identify candidates who have been denied legal relief for far too long. Today, we are correcting that injustice, and in doing so, we are restoring faith in our justice system. Let me close, I referred to this earlier, by saying that though this is the first round of pardons and commutations as governor, it will not be my last. As we approach the final year of our administration, we will continue embracing a fair, impartial, and balanced approach for granting legal relief to New Jerseyans in need of a second chance. So thank you all. This is about the most momentous day I've had in 7 years as governor. With that, I want to, with great pride, hand the podium over to Dawn Jackson's daughter, speaking on behalf of herself and her brother Stevie. Please help me welcome L'Oreal Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. I am truly honored today to have the privilege of sharing my warmest, heartfelt thoughts on behalf of my mother, Dawn Jackson. Today has given me the ability to understand what perseverance looks like, what it means to be resilient through difficult times, and to keep striving no matter what life may throw at you. Dawn Jackson is just that, resilient, dedicated, and fearless. She never gave up the good fight, and that's why I stand here today on her behalf. What this means to me, I can't begin to put into words, but that I'm completely speechless, overwhelmed with joy, and can't wait to experience all that God has for us. What this means for my mother is that she can now go on with her life, creating memories with her children, her grandchildren, continuing the good fight, and enduring all that life has to offer. And by her side, and with that great foundation and support we have, I believe that we will be just fine. I thank everyone who truly made this possible, including Governor Murphy, but most importantly to my mother for never giving up. Thank you all for your time.
I thought Pastor Pam was a tough act to follow. Abdur, good luck to you, buddy. Again, Abdur works in our, thank you so much, L'Oreal, and to you and your brother Stevie, and God bless your mom. I told her, I told Denise, I told Myrna, I'm looking forward to giving each of them a hug, I hope, sooner than later. And she'll be hanging out with you not too far from here, so hopefully we'll do that. I mentioned Abdur works in the program as a program support specialist for reentry. How about that, in the New Jersey Department of Corrections. He has been pardoned, I'm proud to say. Please help me welcome Abdur Azim.
Thank you, Governor Murphy. Good morning, everyone. I would like to first give thanks and praise to God, through whom all things are possible. And what he allows to happen only happens during the time and the season. I would like to thank family, friends, colleagues, and clients who I work with, as you all have been instrumental in my personal and professional and spiritual growth and development. I want to give a personal and special thanks to Governor Murphy. Your governorship has been reflective of challenge, courage, perseverance. You're committed to public service and change. Your commitment to public service and change has been at the forefront of your policies. You have taken a special interest in ensuring that our returned citizens in the state of New Jersey are provided with reentry services. Thank you for your courage, your commitment to champion the implementation of such progressive policies as the one that's being exercised today, Executive Order number 362. On June 19th, you signed this order, and it granted expedited consideration for certain individuals to be pardoned. This executive order is unique as it has called for the development of an advisory board, which you spoke about earlier, to individually review all applications and make recommendations and considerations. The push to make New Jersey a second chance state is a promise you have lived up to. You have put together a truly diverse, unique, and advisory board to ensure that eligible candidates like me receive a fair opportunity in this election process. Your team was very thorough yet professional in the way that they vetted me as a candidate to receive this pardon. They treated me with respect and dignity during the interview process, and they did not hesitate to call me when they had other questions or concerns in order to get the clarity. Although it has been a 30-year journey for me since my release from prison, I honestly felt like this was the time and season for something miraculous to happen in my life. However, I did not expect it to be a call from the governor. He called me, he said, Mr. Azim, I said, yeah, how you doing? I knew I was getting a call, but I was not expecting to hear your voice. I was expecting to hear Butler and the other crew. but good thing I'm a personal person, I'm always talking, so I know his voice. I said, this is not AI. I said, it can't be AI, because he actually said something personal. To let you know they really vet us, he actually brought up something about my son. He said, you have a son that's working for a law and public safety. I'm like, okay, this has definitely got to be Mercury. There's no way he could have knew that. But, however, I did not expect that. But the feelings that I got from that, because he spoke about my feelings earlier, he's kind of still part of my presentation, so I won't talk about that. But I'll talk about the other feelings I got when you actually called me. I cried. I cried. That was my first feeling. My second feeling was that it was just so surreal. Like, I was like, my God, I cannot believe this is happening. It's like a very long time coming. But in closing, this partner is not my end goal. It's definitely not. If those of you who know me, you probably can look at my pars. But nonetheless, this is not the end. This is not my end goal. However, this is the, because it remains a great deal of work to be done when you're providing reentry services and rehabilitation. However, this part serves as an indicator to me personally, letting me know that I'm going in the right direction. Forward as a public servant, instilling hope, selling the idea of change to people who are hopeless and struggling because of past traumas and afflictions. This part of me will provide me with the surge of energy to be able to continue to beat the drum of hope for the individuals in need. Thank you, Governor.
Those are historic. Two things, Abdur. First of all, you're obviously quite uncomfortable speaking in public. You could go on the road for crying out loud with that. God bless you. And secondly, it was not AI. But I did call you, I was on a drone. Keep that between us, though. That was really impressive to both of you. That's not easy getting up here. Talking about your life and talking about your mom's life is not an easy road. So God bless you all and everyone else who is not in this room, who are with us in spirit. Last but not least, I mentioned the board, the Clemency Advisory Board. These guys aren't getting paid. This is hard work. These are not, do we tweak a little something here or a little something here? These are life-changing, life-altering, deeply important, profound decisions. And they have put an enormous amount of work into this. And I can't say enough good things about them. I also mentioned that they represent all different dimensions of the criminal justice system. So this is folks who are not naturally on one side or the other of an issue or of a particular case or a particular life in question. And they've come together and done extraordinary work. So our last speaker, speaking on behalf of this board, is its chair, my friend, former colleague, the one and only Justin Deuce. And I said inside, when I'm with Justin, I feel like Pee Wee Herman.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you for your warm introduction. I do want to say, yes, we don't get paid, but what we heard from Ms. Jackson's children, what we heard from Mr. Azim, worth more than anything that we could truly get. And thank you for your leadership on this issue. I know that we've already been through some names. Governor, you've mentioned some folks already, but I do think it's worth repeating because I do want to acknowledge some folks in this room. I'd like to thank the members of the board: Joellen Jones, Jessica Henry, Bishop Joshua Rodriguez, Edward Neefsey, Michael Zuckerman. As chair, I'm simply the first among equals. The board members' commitment to fairness and the dedication to this work is what allowed us to be here today. I'd like to thank the governor's office staff who have supported our work: Matt Burns, Lee Kelsey O'Donnell, Natasha Kami, John Butler, Luann Bellardino, Claudia Salvatore, folks who operate without fanfare and whose only goal is a job well done. Many thanks to the State Parole Board, who does the heavy lifting of preparing our clemency applications so that we can review them. And thank you, Chairman Plumrye, for your leadership. Your partnership's indispensable. And finally, I want to thank Commissioner Victoria Kuhn and the Department of Corrections for making sure that those receiving commutations are prepared for release to their families and loved ones and for success after incarceration. Thank you all. Now, with that, we are not here to pat ourselves on the back. We are here to highlight that this is just our first and many more steps to come. As we promised at the beginning of this process, we would not let favor or connections impact our decision-making, and I'm proud to say that we kept that promise. The applications we reviewed, and we are continuing to review, we judged on their merits alone. We reviewed applications from individuals whose addictions drove their criminality, but who worked hard to get clean in all areas of their lives. From folks who, because of the foolishness of youth, went down the wrong path, but who are now role models in their communities. And from those who are still in the middle of their sentences, but have used their time to better themselves and exemplify rehabilitation. And all those who are receiving clemency today, they share this in common. They've accounted for their past mistakes and faced the consequences for their actions. And now, I have one ask for those in the room receiving clemency, for those who couldn't be here today who are receiving it, and for those of you out there who will receive it in the future. I ask that you be everyday, contributing citizens. No more, no less. And we know that some recipients have been doing that for 10, 20, 30 years or more. Just please keep going. And for some, especially those who are returning home, it may take some time adjusting to the outside and the opportunities that clemency provides. So we ask that you take advantage of supports that you have. And to the families, the loved ones, and supporters of those who are receiving clemency today and who will receive clemency in the future, you have a role to play too. We ask that you keep giving these clemency recipients the love and support that they need at all times and hold them accountable when necessary. No one is an island unto themselves. So please continue to be there for them. Their success isn't possible without you. And I make these asks because what we're doing here today is special. Never before has there been a thoughtful, systematic process to review clemency applications in New Jersey. For the first time in our state's history, we can say that fairness and not favor is the guiding principle behind the governor's clemency decisions. And that's a commendable point of process and commitment for which the governor, the Clemency Advisory Board, and the people of New Jersey should be proud. It's a model to be emulated. But the ultimate success of this initiative doesn't lie in the process, nor does it rest on the number of clemencies that the governor grants. The ultimate success relies on you, our clemency recipients, and how you use the new freedom you've been given. The moment you receive pardon or commutation, you become ambassadors for what clemency can do. People, supporters and critics of this initiative alike, will look to see how you are taking advantage of this opportunity. And since the best answer is often the simplest, your normalcy will be the greatest testament to this process and will increase the odds that this new approach to clemency goes beyond this administration. Because this shouldn't end with Governor Murphy. You've gotten the ball rolling, Governor. And the clemency recipients, you're the momentum. So that whoever occupies this office next will see that clemency can be granted deliberately, fairly, early, and consistently. And I close with a heartfelt congratulations to today's clemency recipients. We look forward to recommending many more to add to your ranks. Thank you.
Justin, to you and your fellow board members, deep, deep thanks. This is tough stuff, and you've done extraordinary work. And my only regret is that we didn't get to this day sooner. But we will not let any grass grow. We will have more days like this over the next 13 months, I promise you. So with that, could I ask Abdur to come up and join me, and I'm going to sign his pardon. The other pardons I will sign off camera. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Maybe do a money shot here. I can't see the thing, but. All right, man. You good?
Yeah. I'm great.
Abdur Azim, you are herewith pardoned as of this moment. God bless you. Give your son a hug for us.
I will.
Just Abdur and I are just, Mary Ann, asking ourselves a very simple question. Who gets the pardon, Abdur or me? the paper. You do. Okay, I do.
I think
Nothing personal.
Okay.
Okay. Could I ask L'Oreal and Stevie to come on up and join me? Thank you, guys. Good. I'll do one money shot without my glasses, even though I can't see it. Okay. Here goes. We're going to use 3 pens in this one. First one is to L'Oreal Wilson. L'Oreal, God bless you. Second one is to Dawn's son, Stevie Moore. That's you. And I think you'd both agree, most importantly, pen number 3 is for Don Jackson. Victoria, could you take this, or how do you want to do that? I'm happy to. Yeah. Come on, you should come up and join us as well. Let's hear it from Victoria King. Come on for one picture, and then I'll take one with just the L'Oreal and Stevie. Come on in here a little bit. Okay, just the kids. And yeah, exactly. That's a good sign usually. In this line of business, that's a good sign when you don't know where to look. Let me just say this, and Victoria will correct the record. This commutation is also effective immediately. I told Myrna and Denise and Don on Friday that they would be free by the end of the week. Victoria says she thinks it's Wednesday, so you'll have Mom and Mount Laurel on Wednesday of this week. God bless you all, and thank you, everyone. Thank you all. I think for our members of the press, we're going to break down and go across the hall. So give us 5 minutes and I'll be over there. Would love to take pictures with any of you. If you want to do a board picture, or Aaron, you want to do a shot. Anybody else would be on?
I got you.
Justin, you want to do the board?